Hey, this is King Simon. Remember, make sure you go to my website, kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com, or Linktree at King Simon the Numerovation. Get all 4 of my books, and of course, that's the Numerovation for Mental Stability. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Numbers are simple, children's health is important, and no promotion is bad promotion. Just spell my name right. Make sure you get them now on all my links. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. Go now.
Rockers Movement presents the 2021 Miami Reggae Festival, healing the community with sound system culture. Saturday, August 7th and Sunday, August 8th, featuring from Germany, Warrior Sound International, the Immortal King Champion Sound from Kingston, Jamaica, Stone Love, Brooklyn's Champion Sound, King Addies International, from New York, the Champion Sound, Soul Supreme, from Jamaica, Wales in the country, it's Bass Odyssey, Downbeat the Ruler from New York City, Poison Dart from Tampa, and the Miami Ruler for years, King Waggy T, the Sound of the Future, Adonai, On Track Disco, DJ Rocksteady, and many more. Hosted by dub poet icon Motoruka at the 2021 Miami Reggae Festival, celebrating Jamaica's Independence Weekend. Saturday, August 7th and Sunday, August 8th at the brand new RER Marketplace next to the Opalaka Flea Market. Tickets start at $25. For more info, visit MiamiReggaeFestival.com or call 305-900-5523. Celebrate Jamaica's independence and sound system culture at the 2021 Miami Reggae Festival.
Yes, greetings, one and all. All the family out there, how you doing? How you feeling? How you moving? Love and honor to all the ancestors. It's your brother King Simon right here on KSP TV, family. Oh yeah, baby. It's KSP TV, live and direct, as it states right here on the top. Don't forget about the big ones coming up. The big ones coming up. The big ones are coming up. The big ones are coming up, of course. Oh, yes. Thank you for that well-deserved round of applause. Just want to remind everybody, coming up live and direct, Yeah, baby. You know what it is, family. You know how we do it right here on KSP TV, King Simon Presents. That's right. The month of June is going to be off the hook. Of course, tonight we got Dr. OYA. ADWOA. She said she got to get in here a little late. She's going to get here by 8:30. So it is what it is. So we started it right here on time around 8 o'clock. And don't forget, this coming Sunday, we have our dear sister, Mama Oracle, coming in. Remember, alternative and energetic medicine she's going to be talking about. So we're going to be bringing her in all the way from Montreal, Canada. So make sure you tune in this coming Sunday. And of course, the rest of the month, we got this coming Wednesday. Next Wednesday, we got the one, the only King Randall from out of Albany, Georgia. Big things that he's doing with the school out there. That's important. Of course, children's school, the young people's school. That's how we doing it right here. And I love that the young man is doing this thing at 21. And then that Sunday, on the 13th, that early morning, we have the sponsors of this event. We are our ancestors' wildest dreams, and this is an event for Juneteenth right here in New York City. So we'll be having Joycelyn Brown in the building. Joycelyn Brown will be here. If you want to find out further information about that free event, please email Joycelyn at this email right here, Joycelyn0127. That's Joycelyn0127 at gmail.com. You can find out how to help, how to support, how to join their PayPal so they can help bring and buy a lot of stuff and games for the children. And I know they're doing a children's fashion show on Juneteenth, the weekend of Juneteenth. So that's going to be an awesome show. But we'll be interviewing her that morning with somebody else, a beautiful friend named Tiffany. So we're going to have Tiffany in here also. And don't forget, we got Amin Ra, my brother Amin Ra Valentine, Dr. Phil Valentine's son, will be here with us that evening, the same evening on June the 13th. And then on June the 16th, we got the one, the only Zion Lex coming in. As you can see, he's on either the African blue right there. And then after that, to close out the month, we're going to have the one, the only Sacred Secret going to be here. She is one of the producers of Altar Candy right there in Georgia. So, hey, let me bring myself on because we here representing. That's right. Let's bring myself on because we here representing. Woo! What up? Got on one of the crowns, baby. Got on one of the crowns. The king of the crown. That's right. My brother, Copper Child Mike Ill. This is the king of the crowns right here. King of the crowns. That's right. Don't call it a hat. You disrespect. It's a crown, baby. Yes. How y'all feeling today? Where y'all acting up from? Are y'all coming from outside of the United States? Are y'all coming from Africa? Are y'all from Queens? I see Queens in the building. Queens is in the building. So if you know you coming from somewhere, this is what you need to do. Make sure you put your area that's where you come from, and we shout that area out. So Queens is in the mother flipping building. So big up to Queens all the time, wherever you come. I see Sajda in the building. Big up Sajda. How you doing? Chakra King is in the building. Big up to Chakra King in the building. And remember, share, like, and do what you like. Because this is what we doing right here on King Simon Presents or KSP TV. And I see my partner in Vibe in the background. She's looking like a sweet bowl of candy. Yes, Lord, have mercy. Go ahead, girl. We're going to bring her on with a well-deserved round of applause. So we're going to bring on the one, the only, Isha. Field to Buffalo, New York in the building.
Buffalo.
Oh, I haven't been to Buffalo in a long time. The place of Rick James. Oh, yeah. And Gary Bird, Imhotep, Gary Bird. They come from Buffalo, New York. That's where Rick James come from. Rick James, yeah. So what's up, girl? How you feeling?
How are you? Doing great.
Oh, did you decided to put on gray because you was feeling my energy or something? What's going on here?
What is this? Okay.
We coordinating. You got to coordinate.
I see. Yes.
All right. This is how we read and vibes. This is how we read the energies. Okay, I see how this works.
Okay.
Well, how was your day so far? How was the day?
Wonderful. It was a good day.
It was a good day. That's right. That's right. It's raining now out here in Brooklyn. It's raining over there?
Not yet.
Oh, then it's coming up that way then. Don't look out. Look out. That rain is coming. Rain. Keep on coming our way and cleanse the bull crap all the way. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. You know, on radio, we used to call it liquid sunshine. Liquid sunshine.
I like that.
Yeah, that's what me and one of my radio disc jock partners named Prince Kalundo used to call it. He's the one that said it. And then I said, oh, we're going to take this on, Liquid Sunshine. Because we're broadcasting on Facebook. I want to remind everybody we're broadcasting on Facebook. We're broadcasting on Twitter. We're broadcasting on the Numerovation Nation or the Ministry of Numerovation. And we're broadcasting right here on King Simon Presents. So all about sharing is caring. And the more you share, the more you care. So people are always trying to vibe with us and want to find out what we doing. So it is what it is. We are the Wonder Twins. You know what I'm saying? We are the Wonder Twins today. This is it. This is us right here. Look, she got my back. You know, she holding up my back. Oh, look at that picture right there. Right there, or right there. You know, don't want me to start sounding like Forrest Gump. You don't want me to start sounding like Forrest Gump. You know, I will run across the United States. You know, but how's the young people? They all right?
Yes, they're doing great. Yes, absolutely.
That's good. I'm so excited. Everybody's good. But we got a big show for you coming up. Our sister says she's gonna be coming in around 8:30 because she got a meeting and it kind of went overboard, so she's gonna deal with that. But you know, I'm happy that we are here and that the people out there are tuning in live. Once again, family, please share, like, and share again. And don't forget to subscribe and tell your family members to subscribe because we try to keep it nice and positive. It's not about the quantity, it's about the quality of things that we're here to present because there's a lot of work going on and I'm here to keep the balance as much as we can. We got to keep this unified balance. So it is what it is. And your girl Jocelyn is having that event for the children. This is it right here. I see. This is it right here.
Yeah.
This is it until we get on the 13th. But everybody who want to find out more information, please contact this sister. I will give you her email because I think it's important that y'all get in contact with her and make sure y'all know what to do when these children come out to do their thing on the Juneteenth celebration, because that's going to be an off the hook celebration because our children have to know their history. You agree?
Oh, they better know it.
Yes. like Baba Kaba Hayawata was teaching us last night. Oh my goodness, he tore the place up. But if y'all want to find out more about this Juneteenth festival happening right here in New York City, I believe in Brooklyn, New York, please contact Jocelyn Brown. That's Jocelyn 0127 at Gmail. Maybe you want to vend, maybe you want to contribute, maybe you want to send some money. I know they have a PayPal, but we'll wait till she get on before we have the PayPal link and everything else. So show them love because that's the name of the program. We are our ancestors' wildest dreams. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. And we got to recognize that. And we got a big month coming up. Of course, you see these great people. Of course, after Dr. Ma'at, we have Mama Oracle from out of Canada. We have King Randall making waves all over the place. He just bought 40 acres of land for that boys' school and that boys' training to do different events and produce certain things for the well-being of our youth. Then we have Amen Ra, Valentine, Dr. Phil Valentine's son, and Dr. Nalani's stepson. This brother is an actor. You see him on Law and Order. He's in Law and Order, that television show. He's an actor. He got something big coming up. He's also a choreographer. I know he's choreographed for numerous people. I think Mary J is one of them that he choreographed for. So he's an off the hook person. I can't wait to come pick his brain about the discipline of dancing, but also the discipline of acting. Because I also went to an acting school when I was younger, and I went to HB Studio for improvisation. So I studied improv. That's why I'm able to just be very animated and do what I got to do sometimes without even notes. I'm having fun because I learned how to do that improvisation stuff. And then we got Zion Lex, our Hebrew brother, who's coming in to drop some wisdom about his life. He's been in the entertainment, and not knowing that he was in the same realm that I was in with other dealing with record productions and all that kind of stuff, and of course his Hebrew faith, and also studying Kemet. He learns how to blend the Kemet and the Hebrew together. He's one of the best out there doing his thing. And then we got on the 23rd, no, we have her on the 17th. Sacred Secret is coming in, and she is a producer of what we call Altar Candy with Blue Pill and the whole family down there. And another beautiful sister, I keep on forgetting that sister's name. I got to get her name when we get closer to it. But we got June is gonna be locked. June is locked. We keep things popping. I'll drink to that. I'll drink to that. What's going on with you in your space, girl? How's the earrings coming? How's the creativity coming? What's up?
The creativity is on standstill.
On standstill?
Well, let me just put it this way. What I'm saying is that the ideas are coming.
Right.
You know, I just want to do something very, very, very different right now.
Okay.
I feel like I've been locked in this space for a while, and I'm just ready to, shift things.
Okay.
So that's why I say it's on standstill, because I'm really coming up with I'm not in the ancestral realm, just, pour me some new ideas. I'm just like I'm just in a state of meditation.
Well, always remember, new ideas come not just from the downloads you get in your mind, but what you see in around you. And the old saying in The Law of Success, written by Napoleon Hill. Let me show y'all that book. That book is a powerful book, family, and it's a thick-ass book. It's not one of them little small books. It's a thick-ass book called The Law of Success. Very good book by Napoleon Hill. It was given to me by the jeweler of the Nation of Islam, who actually did that ring for Malcolm X. Everybody see that ring on his finger. He gave that to Malcolm X, and he gave it to Malcolm X for free because he knew Malcolm would promote it. And that's how you do it. I wrote it in my book called No Promotion is Bad Promotion, the story that he told me about why he gave Malcolm that ring. And Malcolm wanted to give him money. He said, no, brother, what you're going to do with that ring is going to be more significant for me in the long run. And sure enough, that was his best-selling ring. That was his bestseller. And his name is Brother Ramza Mahmoud. He transitioned some years ago. My brother Ramza Mahmoud, he used to be in 125th Mart all the time, speaking to us, breaking down knowledge and wisdom. I keep his obituary inside my this book because he gave me this book back in the day as a brother that was seeking knowledge and growing into knowledge of self. And in this book, what I was trying to say is, in this book, it says, find a need in the community and fill it. What you don't see that's happening in the community, you find a need and fill it. This book here, Law of Success, thick book. Back in the day, it cost $50. I know it probably costs a little bit more, but it's a hardcover book, and it's one of Napoleon Hill's great books. One of Napoleon Hill. Everybody know of Think and Grow Rich. This is Law of Success. Oh yeah, we got the library. We got the library, sister. We ain't play. The next person that I get married better be ready to read. Get ready to study. That's all I'm talking about. Of course, make sure y'all contact Sister Empress Aisha Moore. Her information is right here at Wilmillion_adornment at IG. Her email is empressaishaamore@gmail, and you can spread love via Cash App. Spread love. That's the Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Harlem, Staten Island, Queens, Long Island way. That's all of that. We are spreading love. Spread love all the way up. So so I can't wait to see what you manifest. And
it's coming. I was actually, when I was snapping earlier, I was having all sorts of insights in my dreams. So I woke up like ready to make things happen. And then, you know, I'm also have other sisters that I'm working with. So it's like that's also something I have to wait for because I'm, you know, I gotta be patient with their time frame as well.
That's true. I understand. I understand. Oh man, this book was stuck to this book, and I think the book want to be announced. That's why it was stuck. Those who are Nuwapians, oh yeah, y'all think I don't keep my books. This is the Sacred Wisdom, the Great Harafat of Tahuti Thought, written by Dr. Malachi Z. York. Back in the day, of course, y'all can see the pictures. Yeah, there he is, of course. But look at that. This was one of those books that he produced and brought back to fruition. The Sacred Wisdom, it's called. Very good book, actually. The information that he has in here, but it's old information, as he stated. This is old wisdom, and it's just like what Brother Billy Carson wrote about the compendium of the Emerald tablets. Similar to that, and there's a lot of wisdom in this book, and he drops a lot of good wisdom in here. So I whatever people feel about him and whatever they accuse him of and whatever he has claimed to have done, the wisdom that he dropped back in the day helped a lot of us get out of our own way to become our greatest self. Kedar Massenberg was his nephew. Big up to Ishmael, his son York. Big up to Jacob, his son. Big up to people that used to come down to his studio back in the day. I've met people like Birdsong. I met Sarah Dash over there. I met Jimmy Cliff over there. I met some great entertainment. Ted Mills from Blue Magic over there. Manhattan's Force MDs that we had on the show. Met them over there back in the 80s and all that. And that was my first recording session over there. The first person to record me was Dr. York's studio, at his studio at the first building before he moved into the big hall of knowledge where he had the 6-pointed star in the crescent up there and everything. So yeah. So I had a good time in my life growing up, other than the other bull crap that went through. But it is what it is. So it's very ironic that the way things go in life, and and the way you're treated respectfully by certain leaders. And I never got any disrespect from him. I always got disrespected by either some of the security team or people that was just haters because they didn't like our relationship, because I was one of those carefree dudes that just, yo, Doc, I got this new song, and I was writing music and all that. Yo, Doc, and he loved my smile. I was like, yo, he's like, and he'll wave me and come on, and tell me, because what happened, he used to vibe off of us, and that's how he created passion. And he named Aisha. He named my reggae group called Pazion. He named it Pazion, off of his passion group that he called Passion back in the day. And we learned Arabic, Hebrew, Greek. We learned all types of languages over there. So we had a good time. No matter what went on, I tell people, when people try to interview me about him, I said, look, I never had no bad experience with him. It was people around him that was showing me the dislike and the jealousy, but it wasn't never him, ever. And I've been in his house. I never seen anything madness. I met Sarah Dash there. Sarah Dash, the great singer and performer, met her there, and I've never seen any of the madness. So it must have happened after I left, because I left in '88, and I know things started coming out of the woodwork in the '90s, mid '90s, going into the 2000s. So look, it is what it is. I tell people that all the time. So people be trying to people be trying to get some information out of me. I'm like, bro, I left too early for all of that. And him and I never had no problems. For the record, never had no problems with Dr. York, Imam Isa Al-Hadi al-Mahdi. Never had any problems with him. It was people around him. I just want people to know that. So as this is being recorded, people are checking me out, so they know. Buffalo, New York, everybody's still in the building. So so I'm glad that you are downloading what you need to download, my sister. And let me ask you a question. I'm going to talk to you now. See, we up here. I'm going to break some molds here before our sister come in. Don't start blushing now. Look at your face.
I know, like, okay.
What is King ask me now?
I know. I'm thinking like,
because I go there now. What was some of the main lessons you learned being raised in Islam? From, I think, a Sunni perspective, you was in Sunni. What was some of the perspective? What was some of the positive that you remember from being in Islam and also being raised under the Islamic ban of the Sunni sect?
The positive things.
Yes.
One of the main positive things that I remember is that you have to, when you do good, you have to do good on the contents of your heart. You do it for the Most High. You don't do it for praise. You don't do it for no one else. So, and you treat all of the Most High's creations as a reflection of the Most High. You treat them with love. So that's one of the main things. One of the main things that I carry with me throughout my life. And also what I've also learned is just to be the key, the importance of modesty. Modesty, not just in your dress, but in your spirit. You don't have to be so boasty and be all loud and showing off to the world. Another thing is the prayer. Prayers.
Right.
Growing up Sunni and making salat and making du'as and fasting during Ramadan and reading the Quran and hearing about the hadiths and the prophets and the Sahabas and everyone. It was very humbling. And going to the masjid and taking your shoes off and making, washing up before prayer and, being amongst the sisters. It also taught me sisterhood and the importance of sisterhood and brotherhood.
Wow. One of the best prayers that I remember is, and I still remember most of the 4 kuls and all that, but the one of the greatest prayers out of the Holy Quran was Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Kul huwa Allahu ahad, Allahu samad, lam yalid wa lam yulad wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. Yes. Lord one. Talking about the greatness of the oneness of Allah, and Allah meaning the all in all. That means all of us have Allah in us. The all. That's why I like what Dr. Khalid, how he used to break it down and make the whole connection between the African-centered community and the Kemetic community. He knew how to bring it all together and show, because yes, Islam does come out of the African spiritual system, no doubt. If it's only 1,500 years, something was here before 1,500 years. Let's be real. But recognizing the oneness of the Almighty and the Creator within all of us is very important. And I think the essence of that particular kul was very also important. And even Suratul Kafirun. Kul huwa Allah, kul ya ayyuhal kafirun. I remember that the way we used to, in the Ansar, I learned it in the Ansar under Dr. York, Imam Isa, because he taught his children there, he taught all of us how to speak it like the dark-skinned Sudanese.
Okay.
Some of the best chanters and the most chanters of the Quran is the Sudanese. Not the Arabs, not the Saudis. They always respect. They used to like to give it to Abdul Basit, may he rest in peace. But it was those Sudanese Muslims that was able to make your heart ring with it, and you felt the pulsation because they brought the soul of Islam and the soul of the peace into it. Even when I used to call the Quran, the adhan, I used to call the adhan at the temple. And I used to, you're supposed to chant it, not sing it, but we sound so good, it sounds like we sing it. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. When we called it, it was like, and every time I hear it anywhere in the world, it still penetrates me.
It does.
Just like just like when the Medunetter is chanted beautifully. I got a CD with Brother Polite chanting and his wives chanting the Medunetter and chanting the different deities and putting the female and the male deities together in their chant. Very powerful. I used to listen to that in my head. And that's the prayer that he actually uses all till now to keep on it. Although whatever Polite is doing, he still meditates and prays with his wife and do his thing every day to keep that energy up. And that's what we have to continue to do in whatever we're striving to become in our life. So prayers are important. Meditation is important. And it's healing. So those that are still into the Christian religion or the Hebrew religion or the Islamic religion, I never tell people to get away from it, because that's the level that you're at. And when you're willing to go not down a rabbit hole, but go into the universal hole of understanding, that's when you're going to excel and still keep your base, but do what you have to. I still have my Quran is here, all that stuff. I got Hadith here. I got all of the different things. I got the Tao. I got the Bible. I got all different types of languages. I study. I like to study, and I tell people, study. This is what Noble Drew Ali said years ago. Study. And after you finish studying, study yourself and see how it connects with you. Because none of these books and all these writings are no good unless you apply what it is that are in these books. So it's very important, So big up to people that are coming in. We're still expecting our sister. I don't know if she's trying to text me or something. Let me see. Let me check my text, because I sent her the thing. So I'm waiting for her. And but she did call me and said she was going to be a little late because she's in a meeting. While we're doing that, let me just take a quick hard break, if you don't mind. Let me take a quick hard break while we're doing that and get prepared for, okay? Don't mind. We'll take a quick hard break one time, and here we go.
Hey, this is King Simon. Remember, make sure you go to my website, kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com, or Linktree at King Simon the Numerovation. Get all 4 of my books, and of course, that's the Numerovation for mental stability. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Numbers are simple, children's health is important, and no promotion is bad promotion. Just spell my name right. Make sure you get them now on all my links. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. Go now.
Rockers Movement presents the 2021 Miami Rockers Movement presents the 2021 Miami Reggae Festival, healing the community with sound system culture. Saturday, August 7th and Sunday, August 8th, featuring from Germany, Warrior Sound International, the Immortal King Champion Sound from Kingston, Jamaica, Stone Love, Brooklyn's Champion Sound, King Addies International, from New York, the Champion Sound, Soul Supreme, from Jamaica, way out in the country, it's Bass Odyssey, Downbeat the Ruler from New York City, Poison Dart from Tampa, and the Miami Ruler for years, King Whitey, the Sound of the Future, Adonai, On Track Disco, DJ Rocksteady, and many more. Hosted by dub poet icon Motoruka at the 2021 Miami Reggae Festival, celebrating Jamaica's Independence Weekend. Saturday, August 7th and Sunday, August 8th at the brand new RER Marketplace next to the Opalaka Flea Market. Tickets start at $25. For more info, visit MiamiReggaeFestival.com or call 305-900-5523. Celebrate Jamaica's independence and sound system culture at the 2021 Miami Reggae Festival.
Yes, family, we are back. Your brother King Simon is back. Of course, Aisha Moore went somewhere, but it's all good. That's all good. Yeah, so, family, I just got a message from Dr. OYA Ma'at. She's in traffic. That's crazy. A lot of stuff is going on, and I understand. She's in Baltimore, so you know how Baltimore can get down. And so she's in traffic, and I heard there's a big storm coming up towards this way, so I know things are happening. It's raining out here in New York, and she's in Baltimore, and things are working like that. But, it's interesting how we have different ways of lives. A lot of us have grown up a certain way, and, especially coming from different cultures and all that kind of stuff. But as we're waiting for our sister, it's important that, we're going to be speaking about this tonight. And this is an important topic because I have a daughter that just graduated out of university with her master's degree in electrical and computer engineer. And so is this lady, Dr. OYA Ma'at. She's also an engineer, electrical engineer, and she is a professor right now. And we're going to be speaking about that when she comes up, because I think it's important that our sisters in consciousness, let me lean back and put my foot up. Our sisters in consciousness, see, I could do this all day. People don't understand. I could keep on going for all day. But our sisters in consciousness not to just sell incense and oils and sage and all that kind of stuff. But some of our sisters in consciousness and brothers need to get into the sciences. A lot of us have in our very DNA the science of our ancestors. And if we find and tap in, like Baba Kaba Hayawata told us last night, we should read books that he has to offer, like the Shabaka's Stone and, of course, Spirituality Before Religion, because when you read books like that, family, it helps you to tap in, or helps you to remind you of who and what you are and what you need to do, you know, and what you need to jar your memory. And, you know, a lot of people are afraid. You know what I'm saying? You know, a lot of people are afraid to do what it is to do. And a lot of people are afraid to tap into who they really are. A lot of people are shy. A lot of people are shy, you know, and sometimes, you know, sisters can be very shy and brothers can be very shy. Once I overcame that shyness of the microphone, then that's when I was able to do what I have to do to make things happen in the field that I was in at another time. I want to make sure that she's all right. She's putting herself together. She's in the background there trying to beautify herself. You're just beautiful. I don't know why you had to go back there and do more beautiful things. Yeah, that's hilarious, man. Stop playing.
I just want to make sure my shirt is correct, you know. Be exposing too much.
Hey, let me ask you a question, because your brother left something on my last feed. His name Al Sharatman. That's your brother? Huh?
I that's my brother. I don't know all his names.
Yeah, he said now I'm going to quote what he said, because he said it in capital letters. And he don't know that I be trying to give you some light to do what you do, but you want to pull back. He says, my sister has a lot of knowledge. You got to give her more talk time and input. She grew up under a lot of master teachers, big bro, including her dad and uncles. It's your brother saying that. I'm not afraid to tell him to his face. I try to give her talk time. I let her go, but she, you know, she wants
that.
Under Booker T. Coleman's thing. But you know your sister, you might have the big mouth, bro, but your sister's more timid and more relaxed. She's a woman, so she respects that feminine energy, especially if you was raised in Islam. You understand that. Some of our sisters from certain Islamic worlds have been placed under a lock. I know that because I was also in Sunni Islam. Mm-hmm. I've studied it. And our sisters are put in the back through Islam and put back there and put over here. And sometimes they're not allowed to talk, especially coming from where you come from back in the 80s and those times. It's not the same now. Our sisters are now voicing themselves, but he's right. You should talk more and be willing to express yourself more. But when you're doing interviews, bro, and I'm talking to your brother, when you're doing interviews of other people, you got to be able to respect the audience, and I usually I throw it at you all the time. I throw you the ball all the time, and I want people to hear this. I throw the ball to Aisha all the time in respect of having the dynamic. But when you have, that means either he don't understand radio or he don't understand what's being happening here. Now, if it was a program like this, then we need to talk. Now, since he says you have a lot of knowledge, let's talk about it, sister. Let's go. Well, let me pull you out and pull your coat and let's see what happens. Tell us what's going on and why your brother says what he said. He said you grew up with a lot of elders and a lot of master teachers. Let's talk about it. I'm gonna put you in the front. I'm gonna put you in Front Street right now. Let's make it happen. Do it.
See, my brother, he put me on the front line like this. I don't, you know.
No, it's all right. Because he wants to hear you.
Yeah, I see where he's coming from. You know, I'm more of the type of person who. I'm the sister who I already understand my light. I already understand it. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I don't need to be boasty about it. I'm a
Mm.
really modest individual. I'm fairly modest, and when it's time for me to be that, I will be that. You know, I have no problem with being boasty, as you know.
Look, I see you do it. I see you do it on Facebook, but sometimes I see you do it on Facebook when you're angry,
Yeah.
and we don't want you to do it when you're angry. We want when you do it when you're in your soft space. You can still have power, but yet be respectful and soft. Because women have power, and they have so much wit. They can be soft with what they do.
Yes, I get that, but
You
it's
know.
I get that, and I really do. I really do understand everything that he's saying.
Okay, because I know he called you, right? He did call you on it, didn't he?
He didn't call me on it after the show. I didn't know he had,
Yeah, he
said that.
put a text up here. He put a text up.
But and my brother, he was raised. He for a while he went to Hafiz school, so he was a Hafiz at one point.
Quran.
He memorized the whole Quran, and
Right. Mm-hmm.
Our upbringing is different. We had two different perspectives.
Right.
And the things that he got to see, and the people, the brothers and the teachers and the master teachers that he got to experience, being male and being around those type of male energies, it's different.
That's true.
So he was raised more around master, or was exposed to more master energies.
Okay, so he don't understand that you wasn't exposed like that.
No, he don't understand that. He don't know that. He feels like we all pretty much had a, same experience. But I know what he's saying. And I was raised around very powerful individuals. And my father was, he had a leadership energy with him.
Did your father ever lead one of the masjids or any of the masjids around New York? Because I'm a good friend of Siraj, Imam Siraj. I can call him on the phone right now and say, "What's up?" Has your father ever ran one of those masjids back in the day?
Back in the days, he had a lot of followers. I really don't recall him having a masjid.
Okay.
Or have any memories of him having his own masjid. And if he did, it was when I was very, very young, or before I was born. But my father was he was a leader in his own way.
Right.
He was a leader in his own way. And
right.
So,
and that's good. At least I see what your brother's trying to do. But if he wants to come on, I got no problem.
my brother he's very strong. He's very strong.
I got no.
We all strong people. All my siblings are strong. My father did not raise us to be weak. He raised us around very strong Muslims, very, very disciplined women. The women in the community were very, very loving, very supportive. I have never experienced seeing or hearing about women, just wilding out and doing drugs or any of that. We was not surrounded around that type of life. So
right.
Very sheltered life.
Yeah, and in Islam, we do experience different dynamics with the man and woman. Like I said, being even in the Ansar Allah community and studying different forms of Islam, they separated the men from the women, and men was out there doing the security. Men was definitely taking care of the women and making sure they're protected. And that's what they did in Sunni Islam and Shia Islam and all of that. So we got to understand there's 73 sects in Islam. And they all have their different ways. It's really, I've been in the Nation of Islam, so it was easier for men to mingle with the strong, boisterous, talking men that were doing things. Women was the ones that supported everything, and it was the backbone of it. The backbone. If you tear down the backbone, you don't have no body. So women was definitely that strength until the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said, you know what, let me start making female ministers. We're not going to hold them back no more. We got pilots in the nation. We got doctors in the nation that are female. And in Sunni Islam, you got a few of the great speakers and great basketball players, great swordsmen. I seen one sister, I forgot her name, man. She is a bad sister. She's Sunni, and she doing martial arts and all kind of stuff and basketball. So, and she working the two balls and doing it. And I'm like, but you see that, but still I understand why we want to be protective. Because the Dajjal, we know what the Dajjal is, this Antichrist. They're always lurking to creep up through the women as well as the men. And that's why that's why the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad used to say 75% of his work is towards the women, because that's where they try to get to us most. That's why in all promotions now it's geared towards women and children. Y'all are spending the money. Y'all are the ones that make the home sometimes because of the food. That's a chemistry lab, and if you're not doing the right chemistry in the lab, you're going to corrupt the whole family. So we're not taking that into consideration. But respect to your brother, and when he's ready to come on and talk,
yes, we gotta bring him on. What? He knows more things. He's younger than me, but he knows more things and more about my father than I did.
Okay. This is a book that y'all need to write. Y'all need to write this book.
There's probably things about him that I never knew because, he didn't, maybe because, me being my father's daughter, he reserved certain information. Maybe, sometimes fathers are like that. They want their sons to grow up to be, men, and they want to share certain things about their personal life that they may not share with their daughters. So, he did get to drop certain things about my father that I did not know. So I would love for him to just speak with him, just hear more about, what he knew, because my father was more like, pretty much the females had to be, in the background, because that's what it means. It's like you be in the background, you sit in the back, and the men do what they do, and so it's a whole different. But he did not raise us to be weak. He didn't raise us to be pretty much. It's like let's just give an example. Growing up as a child, if any child around any of my peers who was not Muslim was to challenge me and be like, hey, what if I snatch that rag off your head? Then that's when
fighting words.
That's fighting words.
Fighting words, of course.
Like jihad. That's jihad. That's like, you want to bring it, but if you touch my scarf, don't worry about Allah striking you down. I'm gonna strike you down.
Oh yeah,
it was one of those type of things, and it was like all for one and one for all with my siblings. So.
Did y'all ever get to train? Did y'all ever get to train in martial arts, or was it only boys that got trained?
No, we were just training whip your ass. That's it.
Hey.
That's it. Just play it all. Just go for it. Just do what you got to do. And that's just how it was. So we never was afraid. We used to make our salat on the street. Literally on the streets. If it's time for salat, we could be walking down the middle of Harlem. If it's time to make salat, there's no masjids around. We will be right on that sidewalk.
Near the tree. We do all of that. Yes,
we would just put a sign in front of us. So if anybody got to walk, if we had to go traveling and going to the rest stops, we'll be right outside. We have a whole crew of people, white people especially, be looking and whispering, "What are they doing? What are they doing?"
They used to do that all the time.
It just built up your confidence. It makes you say, you know what?
You're protected.
You're protected. You don't care.
I mean, that's how we did it. But we had to make salat on the street. I used to walk. Me and my cousin used to walk from Bronx to Brooklyn, propagating. Probably once a week. Propagating we go up to Dyer Avenue, walk from Dyer Avenue all the way to Bushwick Avenue in Brooklyn to sell incense oils and sell books for that community. We then during intervals of time, we didn't have clocks. We understood when was Asr, when was this. We knew those times just by sunlight. We used to have to tell time by the sunlight. So. Oh yeah, exactly. I know exactly what you're talking about. We had the squeegee, the water bottle to make our own wudu, and Used to do that all the time. So I got pictures of me in my Islamic garb right here against the wall. So I know what it is.
Yes.
Brother, we are in the same. I'm from the same school. You know, you can. One thing about me, I'm from that same school. The discipline, the martial arts, all of that kind of stuff. Being the mujahid, studying the mujahid and the martial arts, we had to train every day. Not only in the Ansar community, I had to train when I was in the Nation of Islam. We had to train,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it was important that we train the sisters more, but I think now sisters are now really defining the martial arts now. Big up to all those great masters that we've had on. Also, we had, of course, Sister Sensei Cheryl, who I'm in constant contact with. Next month we have Carol Glasgow. I think she's a showdown now in different forms of martial arts. She also have her own thing called Kickboxing Fever, Kicking Fever. I got her coming on next month. She's a dear friend of mine for many years, and she got demos where she's using her umbrella and choking a dude out, walking the street, or she has one of them big hats. She's a model, so she has one of those big hats, and she'll take the hat and do what she got to do with it, women take their head wraps and choke somebody else.
Know how to cook with it.
So that becomes it's just like the hat on my head. This is a deflection because once I throw this into your face, I'm coming behind with my fist.
Mm-hmm.
I throw it in your face, bam! I'm coming straight with the fist after that. That's how I was trained. Dirty fighting, or not dirty, unorthodox fighting. It's all unorthodox because everything is a weapon around me when I'm walking the streets.
Mm-hmm.
I've been attacked by 3 guys before and all that. And they ran because they didn't know I was going to get up so quickly. Because they got me. I was on the phone. That's why I tell people, be careful when you on that phone talking, walking from train station. And they had me. And I did a barrel wheel kick out of it. And that made them back up. And then I jumped up and ready to fight. And when they see me, I was up and ready to go. They started running. I was ready. That's whatever, you know what I'm saying? But it taught me a lesson. Never be on the phone. And I'm telling you, tell your children, tell your women, stop walking with 2 headpieces in your ear. Walk one in your ear and one out, so you can hear what's going on around you while cars are passing and all that. And when you're on the phone, be careful and make sure your peripheral view is unclear. Make sure you're watching as you're walking. Make sure you scope everything, because you got 180, 360. You got to learn to observe as you're walking, so you don't step in doo-doo, so you don't step on people, so people don't knock you out while you're on the. I'm telling you, family, there's some hounds on the street that have no knowledge of self, and they will take your supper and yum your food. That's what we used to say in Jamaica. They will yum your food, and that's how they used to do it. So we gotta be very protective and train your children. Matter of fact, I'm gonna be I'm trying to schedule a different date. With my son goes to the dojo every Sunday with Professor Grandmaster Bill, but I'm trying to get my daughter into it, but her mother's is obstructing. See, that's why when you have good partnerships, even if you're not married to the individual, you gotta have balance. If your child want to train and you stopping them from training, then you might be setting her up to get hurt on that street, or him hurt on that street. Go let them train. They're gonna understand and respect it in a while. Believe me, they'll respect it. Aisha, I used to train my sons they was more with me back in. My 4 sons was more with around me a lot, especially the second set of 3s. And I got 9 children, and they remember me putting them in push-up positions on their knuckles, and anything they do, I would do it with them. Let's do it together. And then I'll put them on their fingers, then I'll put them on this, and then I'll put them on this, and we doing push-ups, getting it. And they remember that to this day. I didn't want to beat them. I didn't want to do that. I worked them out. And I had them with water jugs, holding water, and they're crying. But look, you did that, and you gotta face the consequences. You're not gonna get beat. Now, if they did something outlandish, they might be holding a water bucket and still get their backside whooped. But I tell them, look, if you want, this is a discipline, and up to this day, they always remember that discipline of training with me. And to Wesley Snipes martial arts, master of martial arts also. And they met some of the greatest grandmasters that have passed on today. They took pictures with Dr. Powell. They took pictures with not Billy Blanks. They took pictures with Wesley Snipes. They took pictures with a whole lot of people. I have pictures of them with on the wall and inside my book. So it's so important to train your daughters and your children into the arts, martial arts.
It's important to train your daughters and of course your sons. But this is for those parents who are like very religious and who are very reserved and who are very just pretty grounded in their religion, that I say to you all, do not hold back your daughters. Don't hold back your daughters because because they also have a divine purpose in this world. And when you hold them back, you are holding back an aspect that the Creator put in them. And they have to be strong. They have to know this world. Don't try to shelter them to the point that when they come into this world and start living their lives as adults, that they are too busy trying to blend in or trying to learn the ways of the world. Let them learn the ways of the world to a degree, and guide them along the way. Like with my daughter, I don't my daughters, I don't keep them from everything. I don't say, oh, they're using profanity, and no, you can't hear it. No, you understand the language. We might only speak English, but then you also know that we live in the hood too, and you got to understand hood language. You got to understand the language of the streets to a degree.
That's right.
You got to understand the language of respect. The language of royalty. There's different ways of speaking one language in many ways.
That's right.
And if you try to keep them sheltered and say, oh, you're only allowed to dress this way, and you're only allowed to express yourself that way, then you are actually hindering them. And I'm telling you this from my own personal experience, because I had went through spiritual warfare within myself, and I knew that the world, being worldly, is not where I wanted to be. But I also knew, being so naive and sheltered, that I couldn't see snakes. I couldn't detect who were the snakes, who were the deceivers, because my heart was so open and thinking that everyone had genuine intentions when they did not.
Right.
So, being in New York, my daughters have to know.
That's right.
And understand that, there are snakes that will smile in your face. And they will act like they're giving you the world. Well, and in reality, they're just striving to, take your world.
That's right.
And leave you with the bare minimum. So please empower your daughters.
Yeah.
Not just your sons. Empower your daughters. Empower them. You never know what position they're going to be in, where they're going to have to pull on their own strength by themselves. And those days do manifest. That's it's not just about divorce. It's not about being a baby mama. It's not about all that. None of that stuff. It's just about, there will be times when, they will have to stand on their own and fend for their children, them and themselves. They're going to have to walk the streets by themselves one day.
That's
their
right.
man may not always be by their side.
That's right.
So,
That's
they have to know they have to know. One time, this brother was walking, and I felt his energy, and I looked from the side of my eye, real like suspect. And my daughter was like, "Mommy, why are you looking at him like that?" And I said, "Because you never know you never know, he could be a stalker or something." And then she just brushed it off like, "Mom, you just being silly." We kept walking. We went 2 blocks. Before I know it, this man was literally right behind me and like saying, "Can I have your number?" And then my daughter gave me this really strange look like, "Oh my gosh, Mom, you were so right. You were so right." And it's just that, it's just because I live here long enough, I experienced certain things. And had I not, This, you know, you won't, you know, I already understood this man's energy before he even said anything. Just because he walked by, I felt his energy. You
No,
know,
that's real.
You have to know these things.
You know, Empress. You know, I went to jail once.
Mhm.
I spent jail 3 times. Spent three, not 3 times. 3 nights. 2 nights and 2 nights and 2 days. 3 nights. I went to
Oh.
jail for fighting police officers from my mother.
Mm.
And up to this day, the women in my family will not tell me if they've been abused or by their men or their boyfriends to this day, because they know there's an ancestor in me, or about 100 of them. But when I defended myself from 7 police officers, they knew they was into something, because I was able to back myself up against the wall like GM Anthony and Soke Little John and Dr. Moses Powell used to be teaching that, and ward them off. They were
Mhm.
not able to touch me, because once they get behind you, that's when they could try to back myself, and that's how I was able to fend myself off from whatever angle they came. I was able. Once I'm against the wall, that's you. I got this,
Mhm.
because I was taught that way. And when you say what you say about teaching those daughters,
Mhm.
and how important it is to protect the women in our community. See, that's why back in the day they used to do this, and now today these are guys that are coming to bite your women because they're not talking to you, or they coming to snatch your purse. That's crazy, you know. That's why I stopped doing the mischievous stuff when I was younger,
Mhm.
because karma, the negative karma, there's karma. Karma is cause and effect. So you got positive and negative karma. And when I used to do the negative stuff, whether running with my friends and trying to rob somebody and all that, it comes back to me real quick. That's why I try to stay away from a lot of that foolishness. You got to stay away. And when you have daughters like that, and you got 2 beautiful daughters, I got 3 daughters, and I try to encourage them to watch their back, especially when you're finding out that a lot of daughters, a lot of women, a lot of young girls are being missing. They're missing.
Mhm.
It's not a lot of boys. It's a lot of girls being missing and coming back with no body parts and all kinds of stuff removed. And
Mhm.
I remember Dick Gregory. Dick Gregory told us that different parts of your body is worth thousands and thousands of dollars. So you got to be mindful out there in the street, not to paranoid nobody. Yes, live your life, but like Bruce Lee used to say, who was born November the 27th, expect the unexpected
Mhm.
and flow like water. Be water, like he used to say. Be water, my friend. Be able to become whatever it is. And that's how you train your daughters and train your sons how to expect the unexpected in a society that is so wicked.
Mhm.
And they promote wickedness on television, radio, through music. They promote this. That's why, according to MIT, a study done over 25 years ago, it says it takes 16 positive to knock out 1 negative in this society.
Mhm.
There's something wrong, you know. But
Yeah, that ratio is very
yeah,
off.
yeah. But
Very
thank you for saying what you said about the daughters, and letting them be, don't shelter them. And it's hard. I'll be honest, it's hard not to shelter your daughters or your children in general, because
Mhm.
there's so much madness going on out there.
Yeah, don't overly shelter them, you
Oh,
know. I
right,
mean, I'm not saying let them run outside and go to the store by themselves, and I'm not saying anything like that.
right.
What I'm saying is, just let them understand that, there's a world out here.
That's right. That's
And
right.
they have to be aware of the world. They can't hear someone say a curse word and oh my gosh, like, oh, someone can call them out their name, call them a B, and then you don't need them going around crying because of that or feel like their whole world been destroyed. You
Right,
know,
right.
I'm not saying, but I'm saying, just let them know that, these things do happen in life and you cannot, go around, looking at yourself basically like a victim out here, because you're going through things.
That's right.
You
That's
know, you
right.
got, teach your children that things will happen in life, things that you will not agree with, things that you feel like you don't deserve to go through, you will go through. But that doesn't make you a victim. That makes you a thriver, because once you're going to grow from it.
That's right. That's
You know,
right.
and we are. That's why I said something about survivor the other day, because we always using the word survive, survive, survive. But our ancestors was not, you know, just survivors. They thrive. They thrive through everything, and they grew this country to what it is. So to thrive is to grow, you know, and you have to grow through obstacles and pain, and you have to triumph over things. So we are thrivers, you know, and that's just who we are. We're gonna always thrive in life, you know. So anything you go through, you know, don't cry over it like it's, you know, look at it as spilt milk. You know, we all go through things, but at the end of the day, it's gonna make the next generation even stronger.
That's right. That's
You
right.
know,
That's
so
y'all forgive me. I had to change my shirt, people. It's getting hot up in here. It's getting hot in here. And I'm in a whole full sweatsuit. So, and I'm in my basement studio. So I'm like, yo, wait a minute. You know, let me. And I think I closed my windows. I need to keep that joint open. I had my my air purifier here. Okay, she just texted me and says she just got home, so she's logging in. Please forgive us. Dr. Ma'at is coming up. She is coming. Yeah, so because we're gonna get into the science and what she done. I might not be able to read her whole bio, but I just want to throw her on. I don't even want to handle because she got a whole long bio. But we're gonna talk about the talking points in the bio. You did receive the bio in the mail, right?
yes,
Okay,
yes,
so
I've read it. Yes,
so we could
yes,
talk.
it's a good
We could do the talking points off of the bio, because I want to make sure that we are paying attention to what's going on with our beautiful sister, and she's doing so much great things with her children, and how she's doing things. I respect that, and her and I had a nice long conversation today about certain things, and I was very honored to be able to deal with her from that perspective. And I just want to remind people it is now 9:07, and please do show some love if you can, of course, through Cashapp. Show some love. If you enjoy the show so far, it's just been me and Empress Aisha. And we got to do this a little bit more because sometimes we don't need a guest to get it in. You know what I'm saying? We don't need. And I just want her. I want her to open up real much. I want her to open up and be her Leo self and not the number 2 self. Because that Leo wants to roar. Leo wants to go, roar, Simon. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I want to see. Go ahead, bring it. Bring it. I want that Leo. But that number 2 be like, all right.
Yeah, it's like that side of me. It exists. You know, I'm not always so subtle in my energy.
You be knocking people out, girl.
I'm in a place for it.
Knock a Negro out. Is she backstage? I see her backstage. Okay. I'm not gonna read this. Now, girl, I ain't gonna read this full bio, but we gonna go in because I want to bring you on fast. We ain't playing with you up in here. Let me get my let me get my applause ready for my sister because damn, everything done shut down just because. But I ain't gonna bring her on until we got the fire. Let me make sure this is working. Okay, all right. We gonna learn today. Hold on. All right. Without further ado, I ain't even going through this bio yet. We're gonna do talking points out of the bio. This sister here is a beautiful sister that I watched grow and do her thing as far as in the consciousness after Unc West brought her on at one of Sanetta's event and she rocked the house. Okay. Dr. OYA ADWOA Ma'at is one of those great sisters, man, that is not only an engineer, not only is she an electrical engineer, my daughter just graduated with her master's in electrical engineer, and not only is she an executive producer of Meltrek and the founder and host of Truth to Power with Dr. Ma'at. Look here, without any further mother flipping ado, let's bring right here on the stage of KSP with Empress Aisha and I, the one, the only, Dr. Ma'at. Give a round of applause and we bring her in right now.
You know what?
What's up, girl?
What's going on, King Simon? How are you doing, brother?
Let me introduce you to Empress Aisha Moore. That's Empress Aisha.
Peace to you, brother. Peace to you, Sister Empress. How are you, my sister?
Peace to you, Doctor. Dr. Ma'at. Just my daughter and I were just studying about Ma'at recently.
Beautiful.
And then you know what? Going through the math, and I was like, come on, we're gonna get deeper. And then you popped up.
Beautiful, beautiful,
I
beautiful.
was like, what?
Now, Empress, you know that there's a beautiful book for children on my art that was published by Baba Takai, Dr. Takai Kilimanjaro. They have a beautiful book on my art. I bought it for my 11-year-old. So I don't know how old your daughter is.
Yeah, she just turned 12.
Just turned 12. So it's a beautiful resource for parents teaching their children, parents to use to teach their children about the concepts and principles of my art by Takai Kilimanjaro.
Okay.
Beautiful book.
You have that book, Brother King Simon?
I was looking. I know I got it somewhere. I know I remember getting that somewhere. I always getting books somewhere because it's for my children and grandchildren.
Yes,
also.
Absolutely.
But, thank you.
I'm glad you can make it in the 9 o'clock hour. I'm not surprised though.
I know. I apologize to everyone under the sound of my voice. I've been like King Simon to tell you, I've been in touch with him since like 8 o'clock this morning. And each time that he and I spoke, I was on the go. I was on the go. I'm literally just settling down into my home because I didn't want to just be on the road and talking on my cell phone in the car. I wanted to make sure I was stationary for this interview. So I'm constantly keep going. But those of us who are doing the work, they can empathize with me because they know the feeling. You're constantly, you're constantly on the move. And so, but I thank you, Brother King Simon and Sister Empress, from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much for having me tonight. Thank you so much. And I love the platform. I subscribe to your channel. I've been seeing the guests that you've been bringing on, and you've been bringing on some powerful guests, King Simon. And so I do appreciate, just being one in the number.
Well, I'm a reflection of you, my sister. So that's what we do. That's what we do. We're gonna bring on some guests. You know what I'm saying? Now, the theme of this, like I and my spirit said to go that route, especially after my daughter, who her and I wasn't speaking for a while, and when her and I talked, and I'm gonna throw it out there, when her and I spoke, it wasn't about me per se. It's just that she wanted to stay focused and getting her master's degree, and sometimes you got to cut off some people and do what you got to do. And I totally concur. And I learned a lot from her just sitting and having a very long conversation with her when she came to the house. And this is what came up in my mind, of course, sisters in consciousness and the sciences, because you're an electrical engineer. According to your bio, you're former military, of course, military veteran for 8 years, serving in the military. You receive your undergraduate degree in electrical engineer, and you're also a professor at the time. And are you teaching engineering at the school also? Sister?
I'm teaching 4 classes over there, four core classes over there, and give thanks that we're on semester break right now. The semester just ended like 2 weeks ago, and I'm over here like just having a ball. But yes, I'm currently teaching at Morgan State University. And this summer, we're offering a STEM summer camp that focuses on cybersecurity. And we're recruiting females because, as you know, King Simon, there aren't a lot of Black female engineers. A lot of our sisters just don't go into engineering. And so what we're trying to do is increase the interest and participation in electrical engineering. And so we came up with the concept or the camp Facts, females are cyber stars too. Yes. And so we're now offering a 2 weeks virtual cybersecurity camp at Morgan State University. I'm just proud to be one in the numbers. Not my camp. It was a camp that was created by a team of us, a team of professors at Morgan State University. And so, I'm just happy to be one in the number, for that particular camp.
Is there a particular website that they can go for that if they want to find out more about that?
Absolutely. www.cap, that's CAP. Hold on. Let me Let me make sure that I'm giving you all the right one. I believe that it's, hold on 1 second, King Simon. I want to bring up the flyer.
No problem. I'm going to put it up on the screen.
Absolutely. I just don't want to give anybody any misinformation.
Right. Because family, it's important that we get into the sciences. Our sisters, I know there was very few Black engineers in history. I think there was like very few now, but I know it's starting to come up. But I'm happy that you're an engineer. I'm happy that my daughter graduated as an engineering master, so master's degree in engineering. And she was studying at MIT. So what is that?
Beautiful. The website is, so you can go to www.morgan.edu. Morgan.edu /CAP program. And then when you get to that page, you'll see all of the programs that are offered by our CAP Center, is a cybersecurity center. So you'll see all of the programs being offered by them. And then if you click learn more, you'll see the facts, females of cyber stars summer camp. So that's there.
So this is the website, Morgan.
That is the website.
/CAP program. Program.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we're in the process, and this is the first time that I've announced this publicly, King Simon. We're in the process of we're trying to get a $1 million funding from the National Science Foundation to start an academy in Baltimore City for middle school students. And so essentially this will be a year-round youth academy, a STEM focused institution. But Monday through Friday, the children will come to us after school. We will work with them after school. On Saturday, it will function like a Saturday academy. And then during the summer, it will function as a summer camp. But it's STEM focused and also African centered. And so we're in the process.
Get that a round of applause. Got to get that a round of applause.
Thank you, King Simon. Absolutely, because we got to work on character, we got to work on culture, we got to work on values and morals. And so it's great to introduce them to all of these different concepts, but we got to give them some substance, in character and values and things of that nature. So it's going to be an African-centered camp. We call it Beast Academy. Baltimore empowers achievers in STEM too. So the Beast Academy. And so we're hoping to get this up and running in 2022. We're submitting our proposal on July the 13th. So cross your fingers for us, King Simon. We'll know when we get the funding. I'll let you know if and when we get the funding.
Yes. I'm proud of what you're doing, my sister, because a lot of us, like you were saying, doing this work is not as easy job as we think. Before you came on, we was discussing various things about young people and the protection of our young people, but not just protection of them physically, but also mentally. And
absolutely.
Now, Empress Aisha, if you got a question let's start with your question. We can keep on moving from there, please. Go ahead.
As far as, because I was doing a little research and I was reading, and the one thing I didn't get is what year the statistic was put out there, but there was like 1 out of every 20 women in the STEM field is Black or Hispanic. 1 out of every 20 females. Is that still like that? Is it still very few women of color?
It's very few Black women, Black African women in STEM. It's very few Black African males who are in STEM. I think that we make up about 3 or 4% of it. Black engineers make up 3 or 4% of the engineering field. The engineering field is white male dominated, and of course the Asians are heavily involved in STEM. But it's a white male dominated field, and we're really behind King Simon, and that's why it's important that we support our HBCUs. Shout out to Morgan State University, Howard University, North Carolina A&T, Delaware State. So we have to support the HBCUs who are producing Black engineers. But there aren't a lot of us. I mean, there are more, of course, of us now than there were like in the 80s and 90s. But we still have a long ways to go. So, sis, it's Empress. I would definitely agree with the statistic. I haven't looked, at the data as of lately. But I would say that it's probably dead on. It's just not a lot of us that go into the field. And to be honest with you, I wasn't going to go into the field, and a lot of people don't know that. I wasn't going to go into the field. I remember when I became a senior, my mother approached me, and she said, and people know my legal name, my given name is Deanna. So she said, Deanna, look, you need to pick a major for college. And at the time I said, well, I'm studying, I'm a history buff. So I said, well, I'm studying, Africana studies. I want to get an Africana studies degree. And my mother, Ann, she came home. She said, no, you won't. She showed me this magazine. She showed me a magazine, and the magazine listed the top 10 paying majors at the time. And at the top of the list was engineering. So I looked at it and I said, well, I can do engineering. I've always been good with math. I've always been good with science. It sort of came natural to me. And so what I did was I just kind of went along with my mom, in which she, she's like, yeah, you should go here. So then we started looking for colleges. And at that particular time, Morgan State University was the top producer of Black engineers, particularly Black females engineers. So we went to an open house, and she just fell in love with the faculty, fell in love with the students and their story and the culture at Morgan. And so I ended up making Morgan my home. And so that's how I got into engineering. But when I got into engineering, I fell in love with it because I realized that it's a discipline that trains you to be a critical thinker. It trains you to be a problem solver. And then you can take that skill set and you can apply that to any field that you choose. So some people don't stay in engineering. They may get a bachelor's degree in engineering, but then they move on to become medical doctors or lawyers or business people. But they have that training, to think critically and to problem solve. They have those skills, and you can apply that skill set to any field. And so that was my story. And then, when I became a senior, because I wasn't even, like I said, I wasn't even thinking about getting a PhD. My mother got me into it from, this magazine. And then when I was a senior at Morgan, one of my professors, his name is Dr. Carl White, and he approached me and he said, you're graduating, with a 3.8, and that was very, it's impressive to be, get out of an engineering program, summa cum laude. And he said, I'll pay for you to get your doctor of engineering. I said, shoot, and at that time I had different offers like Lockheed Martin, the National Security Agency, Hewlett Packard. They were throwing money, we want you. And then I say, well, the hell with them. I'll just go because I wasn't ready to go into the work field anyway. So I said, the hell with them. I'll go with him. And so he ended up paying for me to get a doctor of engineering. And so that is my story. That's how I got into it.
Those that are just tuning in, we're speaking with Dr. OYA ADWOA, our guest, professor, electrical engineer, executive producer of Meltrex, and the founder and host of Truth to Power with Dr. Ma'at. Remember, spread love via her Cashapp. That's $ Dr. Bailey 02. That's $ Dr. Bailey 02. Now, for those that might be novice to this thing called STEM, please explain what STEM is. And and what is that type of science that people need to understand about it, please?
Absolutely. STEM is an acronym that stands for science, technology, engineering, and math. They've added an A to it now, so a lot of people will promote STEAM and say science, technology, engineering, art, and math. And I do believe that art is definitely critical because it promotes creativity. And anyone knows that engineers, that's what we create. They say that scientists study the world as is, and engineers create the world that we want to see and experience. And so art is definitely important because it helps aid with the creativity. It fosters, creativity, which is a skill. And so I think that it was definitely, it was great that they added that. And so King Simon, I do want to address this, and it ties into the sciences. What our hope is that more of us will understand that science is not an invention of Euro people or European people. A lot of people believe that they operate with that misconception that science is a white person's or European person's, I hate saying white, but a European person's invention. We are the people who gave science and math to the world. We were the first engineers. Think about when the Nile River, they said the Nile River would flood every year, annually, right? I believe it was in June or July. I don't know which month it was, but they said that the Nile River would flood. But so they had to think of a way to manage the flooding. Well, what is that? Isn't that how hydraulics that's engineering?
That's right.
And so I think even just the building of the pyramids, that is engineering. The building of the Tekkens and those great temples that we've seen. All of that is engineering, and all of that required a mastery of science and mathematics. So our people need to understand that we are the pioneers of STEM. And it doesn't belong to white people. What European / white people, what they did was take our information. They took it from us. I'm sitting here thinking of Sheikh Anta-Diop in his book Civilization of Barbarism, where he talks about that. He talks about how Pythagoras and a lot of those Greeks, they would study at the feet of African people for decades. And George G. James, Stolen Legacy. He talked about that as well. And I want our people to understand that STEM is ours and encourage more of our children to get involved in the STEM fields. Right now, that's where the world is. That's where the world is hitting. Is hitting in STEM. And I always tell my children, STEM makes the world go round. Without STEM, you and I wouldn't be communicating on computers right now, and I wouldn't have this microphone right now. The pandemic would have shut us down. No one would have been able to get on Zoom or the internet or any of these platforms had it not been for an engineer, and so it's just important that we get our children involved in STEM.
Oh man, Dr. Ma'at, make sure if y'all want to contact Dr. Ma'at, you can also email her at dr.ma'at.msu@gmail, and her Facebook is at Dr. OYA ADWOA Ma'at, and also her IG is at Dr.Ma'at, and of course her YouTube channel is also at Dr. OYA ADWOA Ma'at. Make sure y'all support her channel wherever she is, and also this website here, Ed Anime, at Ed Anime, right? Productions, right?
Yes, Ed Anime Productions.
That's the education through anime, right? That's what that is, right?
Yes. Look, King Simon's like, yes.
I'm talking about, because I want to get ready to go into that. But before we go into that, I want to make sure before I make you answer the question, Empress. Your stint in the military, did that help formulate how you think today, or was that just something of some type of disciplinary thing so you can keep yourself aligned with what's going on? What was that all about? Yeah.
Okay, so I went in 1998 when they offered, I don't know if they still do, but in 1998 they offered what they called a split out program. Split out program where if you were coming out of high school as a junior. Right. That summer before your senior year, you would complete basic training, and then you would finish your senior year, and then after your senior year, you would undergo AIT, which is your advanced individual training. And so I decided to go in the military because at the time, King Simon, like most of us, we need money for college, and the military was offering. I had a partial scholarship from the state of Maryland, and Morgan, they didn't give me anything. And I had a partial scholarship from the state of Maryland. And so I needed more money for college. And at that particular time, the United States Army, they were offering the Montgomery GI Bill. And so I got into the military to take advantage of the Montgomery GI Bill. But one thing I can say that I learned from my stint, because I was in the military from 1998 to 2004. One thing I did learn was my limits. My physical limits, I was pushed to the limit during basic training with the roll marches and getting up 4 o'clock in the morning and the PT, and standing in formation. And sometimes, I did my basic in Fort Jackson, South Carolina. So and I went during the summertime. So you're standing in formation, sometimes for an hour, you're just, you're standing there. So, it really taught me about the physical limitations of my body. It taught me discipline. And so that's what I really got out of the military, just the discipline. I didn't like the military at all. I didn't like it because in 1998, I'm growing my dreads, my locks, and the drill sergeants, they used to pick on me. They would say, Bailey, we don't wear dreadlocks down. They would make comments about me wearing my locks out, and so you know, and I actually got pulled into the office, I remember, by Drill Sergeant Shookman, and he said, you know, you have locks, and he wanted me to explain to him why I lock my hair. So I'm sitting in the office with literally 3 drill sergeants explaining to them why my hair was locked. So I didn't like the military. I did what I needed to do to get where I needed to be. And so that's how it panned out for me. Some of my friends are still in it, you know, they're getting ready to retire from it. But for me, it really just wasn't for me. Another thing that came out of the military too was traveling. Each year I was in a reserve. So each year we had to complete, which was called annual training. And so in 2003, I had the opportunity to visit Germany. I stayed over there for a couple of weeks. While I was there, we took a trip to France, and I was able to go to Paris, you know, so it did afford me an opportunity to travel outside of the US. And so that's, you know, so the discipline and the traveling was an A+ for me, and also, you know, paying for college and giving me money towards college. But other than that, it wasn't a very enjoyable experience for me.
Empress, please share your question. Thank you very much for that, Dr. Moore.
Right. I wanted to know about the summer program, about the STEM summer program. What is the age group for that one?
Rising 8th and 9th grade girls.
Okay.
Yep, rising 8th and 9th grade girls. And we actually start, I think the third week of June until the second week of July.
Okay.
Yeah. But rising 8th and 9th grade girls. Now for the academy, it's going to be co-ed, 6th through 8th grade, you know, boys and girls, 6th through 8th grade, right in West Baltimore, the west side of Baltimore City.
Do you have to be good in math in order to do this?
Yes.
You have to.
Yes. To be an engineer, you have to be good in math. And I stress that to my students all the time. Engineering is the application of math and science. And so when you're matriculating through the program, when you come into Morgan, we hope that when you take the math placement, when you take the placement exam, that you place in Calculus 1. That's what we prefer for you to do. But not everyone places in Calculus 1. When I came in, I didn't place in Calculus 1. I placed in college algebra when I first came through. And so I had to play catch up. And but you really do have to be good with math, because you have to take, you know, Calculus 1, Calculus 2, Calculus 3, differential equations, probability and statistics, differential equations. And I tell my students all the time that pay attention to these classes, because when you get to your engineering courses, you use the math. You use the math with circuit theory, with signals and systems, with studying electromagnetics, the electronic systems. You use all of these concepts that you've learned in your math and your science courses. So, you know, definitely, you definitely have to be good with math.
And math is an absolute. So you definitely, it's something that you need to actually utilize throughout life, more so than all the other remedial foolishness that they usually try to throw at us. You know what I'm saying? And,
everything is mathematics.
There it is.
Everything is mathematics. Everything.
Now, I was telling my daughter that too, Brother King Simon. I was telling my daughter that earlier, and that's how you popped up on the computer mysteriously, because I'm like, you know, no one was going to interview you tonight, and then I'm doing, you know, trying to help her to understand math and how it relates to who she is, and during that process of explaining things to her, you know, I came to the realization that we are all math, like. Just being who we are math, we are science. You know what I'm saying? That it's like there's no separation. That's just, and I'm like, you know, and she was looking at me like, what do you mean? Like, okay, mommy done went somewhere and and I start Googling, and it says, you know what, let me look for something about my eye and get you to get a better understanding of it. And then that, of course, that's how you came in. But you know, I think, you know, in order to teach anyone about math, is that we have to really, truly understand that we are math. We are. You have that connection. It's easy to just, you know, want to embrace it, because when I went to college, I'm telling you, math was like, I thought I was looking at another language. I thought I was looking at an alien language. And it frustrated me every time I couldn't get past the basics. I was like, you know what? my comprehension was far off because I really did not feel connected to it.
And I think, and you're not the only person, sister, that have expressed this. And I think it's because of the way that it's taught.
Yeah.
You know, is taught very Euro, and I think that it turns our children off. It turns us off, so I think that pedagogy is extremely important when you're teaching, you know, Black African children. You know, and so I think you probably were turned off by it because of the way it was presented to you.
And that's
why Sister Ma'at in the chat, she said it's a universal language.
And that's why I love about Professor Kaba, because he helps to make it simple that even a 5-year-old can understand. You know what I'm saying?
He does. Yes, he does.
If a teacher cannot make it as simple as a 5-year-old, and how he related to stories on Kemet or African history and related to them, even playing basketball is math. Jumping rope is math. If you are able to do that, that's where you're teaching, and that's important. So I love
I love it. Like you said, with math, is you looking at pressure, you're looking at speed, forces, friction. Here we're looking at angles, distance, position. You know, all sorts of stuff. Height, the height. Right, the height, you know, so you're looking at all sorts of stuff. You're looking at acceleration, mass, the mass of the ball. I mean, all sorts of stuff. And so, yes,
and
absolutely.
Connect with the body. Now, tell us about this website, the Education to Anime Production, the Ed Anime Production. Tell us what that's all about and how are you using this website? Because I'm about to put it up right now and show look at it myself, because I didn't get to see it. I'm here on your bio, but I'm here picking out things. But go ahead, tell us about that.
Absolutely. Well, Ed Anime Productions is a family-owned and operated company. I founded this company the idea of the company came to me in 2013. And we manifested the company in 2014. As a matter of fact, April of 2014 is when we got our LLC. And so my son, who's now he's 4. I'm sorry, he's 11, but at the time he was 4. We were looking for materials that like animations that taught him about his history, his culture, and his achievements. And so I'm looking online, and we noticed that it was only one film, Tell Me Who I Am. Shout out to Baba Daryl Grayson from Kid Positive in LA. But at that particular time, it was that, you know, animation, and I loved it. We watched it over and over and over and over again. And then we wanted more. And so we had the books. There are a lot of books that we found for him that taught him about our history, culture, and achievements. But there weren't a lot of visuals. There weren't a lot of, you know, animated films that we could sit him in front of, you know, the television and just inundate him with images, positive images of us.
Yeah.
And so what I said was, you know, we can create one. We can create, you know, an animation. And so my family, they say, you are out of your mind. You're an engineer and you over here talking about you want to create cartoons, you know. So my family was looking at me like, you know, but we can do it. You know, we can do it. We can create our own. And so that was the drive behind, or the motivation behind creating the series Mel Trek. Mel is short for melanin. Trek means journey. So we're taking you on a history to understand or learn about melanated people. And so that is our website that we have, that he has up, that King Simon is showing you. And so initially we just wanted to make animated films, you know, we just wanted to make animated films. But then once we released Mel Trek episode 1, Exploring Ancient Africa, parents reached out to me, King Simon, literally from around the world. And I want to shout out, you know, Brother Anka Cat and Brother Sinetta, because they really did. They pushed it. They pushed it. And so they gave me an opportunity to get this product out to the world. And parents called me from the UK. Shout out to the United Kingdom. Those brothers and sisters, they've reached out. Brothers and sisters in Canada reached out. Brothers and sisters across the US, particularly New York, Philadelphia. You know, they reached out. They's like, sis, we love the film. But their biggest criticism was that it was a lot of information being thrown at the children at once. So they said, do you have anything, any supplementary materials. And so I said, well, you know what, we don't, but it would be nice to create like a storybook, you know, to go along with the film. So your children can watch the film, and then at night you can read a storybook that is centered on the film to them. And it would be nice to create an activity book, you know, where the children can they can not only read about it, you know, before bedtime, but then they can do some exercises, maybe some word puzzles or crossword puzzles, or fill in the blank, or color the dots, or, you know, connect the dots or something like that. And so that's what we end up doing. So we produced Meltrek episode 1. We now have a storybook and coloring book to go along with that. We released Meltrek episode 2 a few years later. And we have, you know, activity books to go along with that. And now we're in the process of uploading a curriculum that is centered around Meltrek, literally. And so you showed them that, King Simon, on the homepage. If you scroll down.
Okay. Yeah. Let me go. Go ahead. Where do you want me to scroll at?
I want you to scroll down to. Do we have the unit plans on there? No, I didn't. I don't have it there yet. Okay. We have a unit plans that consist of assessments, pre and post assessments, lessons, a student activity book that parents will be able to log in, and they can homeschool their children using this curriculum. And when I say homeschool, I'm talking about in the area of history, you know, our history. They can log on and do it. And so we're in the process of getting that content up and running. So we're going to do that.
Oh man, this is powerful, man. I like how it's interactive, very interactive. I love that it's interactive with the people, you know. And that's,
absolutely,
it's beautiful. It's a beautiful, beautiful website, family. Make sure you support our sister's website. And are you connecting with any schools around the world?
Oh my goodness,
the plan.
Oh my goodness, that's definitely the plan. We went to Ghana about 2 years ago. We were there. We connected with three schools in Ghana. We just recently came back from Cameroon in February. We connected with about 3 or 4 schools while we were there. The pandemic slowed us down a whole lot because we were making connections, and we were going to, you know, traveling to DC, traveling to New York. But we, like I said, the pandemic kind of slowed a lot of things down. But definitely, King Simon, we've connected with various schools over the years, because this project has been going on for almost 7 years now. And so we've been able to, you know, people have been hitting us up. A lot of after school programs have contacted us. Camps have contacted us and gotten material from us. There's another African-centered independent school in Oklahoma City that has launched. I'm sitting actually on the board of that school, and the sister sent me an email today about a meeting. But I want to give you all.
Have you connected with Baba Baruti and anybody, brother Marcus Klein, as far as that's concerned also?
Yes, brother Marcus Klein. He at Freedom Home Academy, he wants to buy the curriculum. So wonderful. He told me to let him know once it's up and running. The Barutis, Baba Baruti and Mama Ya Baruti, they know about the Meltrek program, but I haven't officially presented it to them and sat down and talked to them about it. Brother Marcus Klein knows about it, and he's seen it. And he's waiting for the curriculum to be uploaded on the website. But the Barutis, I have to actually sit down with them and
you know, this guy George Macon said he's been trying to email you. I don't know George Macon. I've heard his name before.
Yeah, I've seen brother George Macon's emails. Tell the brother I'm going to respond. Let him know I'm going to respond.
Okay, all right. No, all right. You heard what she said, George.
Yeah, tell him I'm going to respond. He did email me, and a lot have been going on at Morgan, because he has a program too. Okay. And he was talking to me about bringing his students, you know, some of the children that he has, to Morgan to do an open house. And I know right now the university isn't open to everyone now. They're even even with the faculty, they're really tight right now. Right. But I'm definitely going to get with him to coordinate a date and time for him to bring his students to Morgan.
Well, George, she says she's going to make it happen.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, let's go back. Let's go into your life. Let's go back into time now, because I know you have a very interesting journey that led you to where you are, because you're the host of Truth to Power on your YouTube channel, and you brought in some very prolific speakers and some great brothers and sisters out there that are doing the work. What encouraged Dr. Ma'at, aka Deanna Bailey, to get into culture and knowledge from a young age? Was it from a young age? Did it start in your teenage age? How did this start for you, my dear?
Oh, I love this question. I tell the same story each time. But so you basically say, how did you come into consciousness?
How did you come into consciousness?
How did you come into consciousness? And I give all praises to the ancestors for bringing the work of Dr. Naeem Akbar, not Dr. Naeem Akbar. I'm sorry.
Ooh,
Baba Anthony T. Browder.
T. Browder, yes.
Anthony T. Browder. So Deanna was a little girl. She was about 15 years old. She's hanging in Baltimore City, down at Lexington Market with her friends, having a ball. And we walked past this table. There's a brother out there. He's selling books. And so he pulled of course, he's trying to sell books. So he pulled up my friends and I. He said, "Come on over here. I want you all to buy these books." And so King Simon, at that particular time, my value system was different. I didn't value books. I didn't want to, I was in high school. I was like, I'm not buying no book. I think we were broke anyway, but we definitely weren't going to spend whatever we had in our pockets on books. And so the brother, so he showed us the books that he had, and we were all like, yeah. So we were walking away from his table, and he said, "You." I turned around. He said, "You." He said, "No, you." He said, "Come here." He said, "Come here, sister." He said, "I'm going to give you this book for free." And it was From the Browder File by Anthony T. Browder. And he gave it to me. He said, "Here, you keep it. I'm giving that to you for free." And what he said was, Erykah Badu throws these books into her crowd at her concerts. And so at that time, Erykah Badu was a big name, back then. She was a really big name. And so when he said Erykah Badu, she throws these out in the crowd, that piqued my interest. And so what I did was,
I've worked with her before too, Erykah. I've worked with Erykah.
Yeah. So what I did was, King Simon, I took the book home and it sat on my dresser for a little bit. And I said, okay. I said, all right. So I kept on looking at it, and I looked at the cover, and you remember it's like a sun, holding. So I looked. So the cover piqued my interest, and so then I opened the book, and so the first page or so, Baba Anthony talks about. He describes the cover of the book, and so I read that, and then I got it back here too.
No, that was actually my first book that I ever got from the Browder Files. This was the first book, but I had to get a new one. Somebody stole my last one, so
somebody messed up my first copy too. But I got the book. I looked at it. I kept looking at the cover, and then I got curious about the cover, and so I opened up the book, read about the cover, and then I continued to read the book. And I mean, I'm reading it. I'm going to school. I'm discussing the ideas with my teachers and my peers. I mean, it literally, I always tell Anthony Baba Browder that he literally was like the key. You know how they have our minds in shackles, with the lock. He was the key that just went like this, because once I read his work, I didn't perm my hair. I went to my mother. I was like, I'm not perming my hair, because he has a chapter in there. He has a chapter in there on beauty standards. And so I went to my mom. I was like, I don't want to perm my hair. I started questioning, being a Christian and things of that nature. And so his book really, it really unlocked my mind. And so after I read, From the Browder File, I took a trip to Everyone's Place. Shout out to Baba Nati. Baba Nati and Queen Mother. Baba Nati and Queen Mother Tabia. I went down there. I took a trip down there, and I started purchasing other books. I purchased Breaking the Chains of Psychological Slavery by Dr. Naeem Akbar, The Community of Self by Dr. Naeem Akbar, Philosophies of Opinions by Marcus Garvey, the autobiography of Malcolm X. And so I'm literally, King Simon, I'm just reading, it was kind of like, reading From the Browder File. It just gave me this hunger. Hunger for knowledge, because this was knowledge I never heard before. No one taught me about melanin. No one taught me about the origins of the holidays that we celebrate, and and how we had our own civilizations, and we in Kemet, and I mean, I had no idea, and so I was like, oh my goodness, I just want more and more. and more. And so that was really my journey into consciousness. And of course, once you start that journey, you start connecting with brothers and sisters along that journey who just take you to another level. So then I meet an Anka cat who says, sister, have you ever heard of Dr. Ben? You know, have you ever heard of Dr. John Henry Clark? You know, then I meet a minister, Asar, who says, sister, have you ever heard of Dr. Amos Wilson? You know, and so before you know it, you're connecting with other people who are on this journey with you, and they're feeding you too. You know, they're feeding you. And so that was my journey, King Simon, in a nutshell.
No, I mean, you basically have similar journey, because I started at 14 also. So I basically at a young age, but I guess I found my way through the 5% and the mathematics they used to drop from those, the most honorable Hajj Muhammad's teaching through Clarence 13X. And I was just intrigued. So I totally get it, you know, and it just encouraged me to read more, even after I got kicked out of high school. I got kicked out of 3 schools because of my troublemaking ways with my friends. Not realizing that I was a leader and I'm following friends, you know what I'm saying? When I needed to just do what I do. So it's so, you know, that those beginnings are very important for the audience to know, because it lets people know that there is a journey to this work in everything that we do, whether you're in religion, whether you're in Islam, whether you're in Christianity, whether you're in spirituality, there is a journey to this work. And I want people out there to recognize, enjoy the journey. Enjoy the lessons and the blessings. You know what I'm saying? Believe me, I've enjoyed it, and I shouldn't even be here, but I'm supposed to be here. And
that's right.
Supposed to be here, and
that's right.
Supposed to be here right now at this dispensation of time. So I got to respect the journey and applaud all of us for making it through to this dispensation of time. Let's give ourselves a round of applause. Yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted to interject. I love, you know, that you and I are both saying, like, look, you know, it's a journey. It's a journey. You know, we're look, and some people think I don't know it all. I tell folks that quick, you know, knowledge is infinite. And I'm on this journey, just like you're on this journey, you know. And so definitely it's a journey. And, you know, one thing that being on this journey taught me is patience. Because when you come across other brothers and sisters, you have to understand that everybody isn't where you are in your walk. You know, and you have to have patience with people and understand that what you know, what we may know, other people may not know, and some things they know that we don't know, you know, and we just have to exercise that patience with one another.
That's right. Empress, please share your question, Doug. I'm sorry.
I love that you said that. That was very, very on point right there. How have your study for melanin and being an engineer, how have those two worlds connected?
You said study of melanin. Woo! And I know, right? I'm sitting over here like, wow, she's, you know, like that was a really good question.
I'm going to pull out my Richard King book right now, Dr.
You said how has that connected? I mean, you know, when we had taken like science classes, you're introduced to concepts like black body radiation, and you start looking at things differently. You know, like you know, with now, granted, I don't want anybody to think that Dr. Maat is spooky with the melanin superpowers and all of that, but it just makes you view things differently. Whenever I approach scientific concepts, I try to look at them through an African-centered lens. So whenever I'm taught, or you know, science, and I'm introduced to a concept, I'm looking at it, you know, through African lenses, not so much what it is, or literally what it is. I'm looking at it differently, I guess I could describe it. And I don't even know if I'm making sense right now, but it's really just looking at it from a different perspective. Because we know the perspective that they give us when they teach math and science is a European perspective. And so for me, you know, learning about, you know, melanin, my history and things of that nature, what it did was it changed my worldview, because prior to that, I was operating with a European worldview. And so when I began to learn about, you know, melanin, you know, science, math, and all of the contributions of our African ancestors, my worldview began to change. And once my worldview changed, I started to look at things that were taught to me through a different lens. So I hope that I answered that question.
And those who want to find out more about it, of course, I got Dr. Richard King's book. Of course, this one is called Why Darkness Matter. And it's also a contribution of other PhD doctors. Ann Brown, who is a teacher and professor at, of course, Medgar Evers right here in Brooklyn, New York. Richard King, I never got to meet him, but I did do a salute to him. Bruce Bonham, PhD. And of course, T. Owens Moore, other Black PhD that actually said Why Darkness Matter, the Power of Melanin in the Brain. So if you want to get that book, it's on Amazon. And I suggest that you get it because it was people like them that had to battle Europeans that would not acknowledge us at melanin conferences. They wouldn't bring Black folks there. How are you going to talk about melanin and not bring any of the doctors there? But again, you did a wonderful job, Dr. Ma'at, from what you understood.
Yeah,
I was trying to look. I was hoping that I answered her question, but no, you're right. And King Simon, what about the 1973 Cairo Symposium? Do they talk about that?
Yeah, inside yes, ma'am. Yes.
The
Cairo Symposium in this book. And Dr. Ann Brown, I'm trying to get her on but she's been quiet since a lot of her peers have been transitioning. She's been quiet and I think retiring now. It's less like Dr. Sister that wrote Yoruga, Marimba.
Nana Marimba Annie.
Yeah. She didn't want to, she don't do too many interviews no more. They kind of shut things down.
She doesn't.
I met her in Atlanta and she didn't really want to talk. And I was like, okay, sister, no problem. And I understand, just by being with Dr. Africa before he transitioned, they get perturbed. And sometimes they want to leave and they're tired of the same old thing. Although they love the work. But if sometimes they've done enough of their work, they've written enough of the book, they said what they had to say, and it's time for us to carry this baton.
Yes,
and take
absolutely.
It to a higher level. That's all. No argument. No, I don't want to. I tell people I don't want to debate. It's just about you adding on whatever. Everybody wasn't perfect. The Sheikh Anta Diop wasn't perfect. Salute to him. The Dr. Benz wasn't perfect. Salute to them. The Asa Hilliards wasn't perfect. Salute to them. What you supposed to add on is what you supposed to add on. You don't have to take nothing away from them. Nothing.
And King Simon, I love what you just said. We have to add on to what they've established. I get so tired, King Simon and Sister Empress, of now granted, I don't mind, people quoting the ancestors, quoting the elders, because we stand on their shoulders. I see, I have a shirt on that says, standing on the shoulders, of my ancestors. So we stand on their shoulders. That's what we do.
Exactly.
But the objective should be to expand, right? And to add on to what they do, because then the next generation, we want them to stand, on our shoulders. And so it's important that we build. And that's what I try to tell folks. We can read the books. Yes, let's read the books, but then let's implement their ideas. Yes. Let's implement their ideas. Let's start getting into institution building, because institutions do what? They teach ideas, they teach, promote, and perpetuate ideas, culture, and so it's important that we get involved in institution building. But I tell brothers and sisters all the time, it's cool. We read the books, we study, we talk about it. That's cool. But we need to start building, because we have the lectures. We got the lectures from Dr. Ben and Dr. John Henry Clark and Dr. Amos Wilson and Dr. Francis Cress Wilson. Now, what are we going to do? Keep lecturing? No, it's time to build. It's time to execute, what our ancestors have been teaching us.
Yes, that's right. Those that are just tuning in, you see who we got on KSP. We got the one, the only Dr. OYA Ma'at. She's not only a professor and electrical engineer, executive producer of Meltrex, of course, and the founder of and host of Truth to Power with Dr. Ma'at. Make sure you spread love via her Cash App. Spread love via that Cash App. Give her some love, because she's doing some work out there, especially with Meltrex and everything else. And then, of course, you can hit her up on IG, email her, dr.maat.msu@gmail.com. Remember the Facebook, of course, that's on there. IG is on there, and her YouTube page is right there at Dr. OYA Ma'at. And a lot, don't forget this one here, the Ed and Anime production. big them up because she's doing fantastic work. Very interactive website that shows you what's going on amongst and what she's sharing with your children and your youth around the world. Like the messenger said, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, all 196,940,000 square miles of the planet Earth. That's what we're doing, you know. So I am honored that you're here. Empress, do you have a question before we finish off? And I ask my last question. Go ahead.
Yes. About the how you pronounce this one?
Anime.
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 Do you have any T-shirts? Because I really want a T-shirt.
Yes, it's on the website. If you go to the store and then click on apparel, it's right there.
It's okay.
Yes, it's right there. Because look, we were making it for the children, and then the parents started hitting us up. They was like, "Wait a minute, I want a Meltrek shirt." So we started making, apparel. We can use that in the Bronx. We need to represent out here. We don't have enough consciousness out here. Like that's, we don't have enough out here. And I feel like we need to promote each other and show off what we have, because like you all were saying, collectively, we can do this. And this is, your apparel is putting the work into action. It's like, a simple T-shirt can go a long ways in the consciousness of our people. Absolutely.
It's for what you're doing. So
absolutely.
I realize that. Mm-hmm.
And sister, you're right. Is if you look at my closet now, back in the day I was into the labels and all of that. Now my stuff says stuff like "stand on the shoulders of our ancestors," and like you said, we have to promote this stuff, and so yeah. I totally understand. But I'll get you a shirt. Just send me an email. Let me know your size and the color you want. Okay. I'll make sure I send you a shirt.
That's right. That's right. We got to show that love, in closing, my dear, with a lot that is going on around the world, and what our youth are really gravitating to more, especially on social media, because I was just telling before you came on, I told her that according to a studies at MIT back in around over 20 years, it's 25 years, they said that it takes 16 positive to knock out one negative in this society. Obviously, it's a construct that we're living on, and there's a lot of negativity is going in. The brain is like a transmitter and a receiver. Even when you pick it up. What is it you want to leave, but as far as your legacy, as far as how we can transmit better energy to our young people and the legacy to come after this, after us?
The legacy that I want to leave, King Simon, is just just letting people know the importance of education. Back in the day, they used to say, education is key. You heard the baby boomers say that a lot. Education is key, or people would say knowledge is power. It is, it is. I mean, we have to understand that if we want to change the trajectory of our people, right, where we're headed, we had to get involved in the education of our children. And so the legacy that I want to leave is our people understanding the importance of educating our babies. And I am going to establish institutions that will enable us to educate our babies. And I'm talking about brick and mortar institutions and curricula that our people can use to educate our babies. A lot of people don't understand that education is really a complex process. I'll be writing a book about African-centered education. It's called African-centered education, the vehicle to empower the African world. That's the title. And so I'm working on that right now, but it is the vehicle. And now I'm not saying the only vehicle, right? Because you got economics that you got to deal with and things of that nature. But for me, my front is education. And so the legacy that I want to leave is our people understanding the power of educating our babies, and brick and mortar institutions and also programs and curricula that can be utilized to educate our children.
Powerful, my sister. Again, we want to thank you for coming here. And although you was in traffic, it's all that good, but we want to give you a well-deserved round of applause for coming and making it still.
Yes, definitely.
Yes. And thank you, Dr. OYA.
it was such a beautiful energy. We under the same misnomer sign, Aquarius.
Yes.
They call it Hoppy. They call that the age of Hoppy, the age of Aquarius, what we're in. And she's a misnomer, the sign of Leo, but that's the other side of Aquarius. So she support that energy also.
And I'm around a lot of Leo. I'm around a lot of Leos. My mother's a Leo.
Wow, the Leo. So this is our age of technology, our age of supporting the feminine energy also. And I tell people, even in numerology, the studies that I've done, when you look at this age of the feminine energy, you got to recognize that, yes, Aquarius may not be known as a male energy, a male sign, but the numbers that is connected to is a female number, a foundation. So we have to support the foundation and help uplift the woman and find balance, not in perversion, not perverted, not feminism, but find a balance. Because at one time when we ruled together, when the women handled the spiritual government and the males handled the physical government, we ruled peacefully. And then it started going. It wasn't a utopia, so they were still their tribal stuff. But before Europeans came out of wherever they came out of and whatever they went through, we was doing what we had to do for tens of thousands of years before they came in. And I love what you are doing, sister. I love what Empress is doing. And I really, really thank both of you and all of you sisters and all of you brothers out there. Let's find balance. Let's find love. Let's grow and do what we got to do in this day and time. Ashe,
yo. Thank you so much, Brother King Simon and Sister Empress, for having me. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here.
Let's do this again. We had to do this again.
I know I'm supposed to come on your show, so we gonna set that up when you're ready. I can't wait to have fun on you.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, I'm gonna have some fun with y'all. And I heard this Friday you got my man Lord Jamal, my good brother.
Yes, thank you so much, King Simon, for making that connection. He's coming on. He's coming on, and he's just such a. I love listening to you, brother Lord Jamal. He'll tell you I'm always in his chat room.
I see
checking him out. I do. I love his swag. He has that 90s. That 90s hip hop swag, and he knows a lot about hip hop. So tomorrow we're going to have a beautiful conversation about the history of hip hop, the purpose of hip hop, and where it is now. And so that's what we're going to get into tomorrow.
Our connection is that our dojo, my teacher's dojo, was right across from his house, his apartment, or his condo, State Street in Brooklyn, right over there, Flatbush and Atlantic, where it met. And we had a security team, and we did security on one of his music video back in the day. I was one of the security men doing security back in the day, Lord Jamal. So I trained right at When Worlds Collide under GM Anthony Muhammad and Dr. Moses Powell and all the soaking. So he was coming out all the time, and sometimes he'd come across. He knew where the dojo was. He knew where we was at, and they hired us as a security team for the music video. And Fubu, that's when I met Fubu. They was giving out T-shirts. I was just in my suit and tie in the nation under Dr. Khalid and Minister Farrakhan at that time, and we was just there handling the business, making sure. So that's where me and him connect.
See, King Simon, that's why I need you to come on my platform, because you a bad brother. Sister Empress, he's a bad brother. He has so much history and so much knowledge and wisdom that he can talk about. I mean, I think a lot of people they really don't know his story. And so I wanted to bring him on my platform just to capture to capture that his story. Because he got a lot. He said, I was with Khalid Muhammad. How many of us can say that we were under Khalid Muhammad, or that we met Dr. Ben and we met Dr. John Henry Clark. And look at King Simon just talks about it like,
Dr. Ma, I was banned from Canada because of Dr. Khalid. So I brought him to Canada and I got banned from Canada. So it is what it is.
Right, Dr. Ma, we gotta do this now.
Yes, we're going to do it.
That's gonna be it.
Dr. Ma, I don't want to hold you. I know you got work tomorrow, right? You still got the.
You know I do. Well, we're off from school.
Yeah, you're off from school,
but I'm doing a lot of writing because I had to get this proposal in to the National Science Foundation.
And when new book come out, let us know, because I definitely want to bring you
definitely.
Back. Make this happen. Definitely. We're gonna do it anyway. You know.
Definitely, brother. Thank you so much for having me. Peace and love.
Thank you, sister. Peace and love. Yes, sir. That's this man, Dr. Ma'at. That's right, Dr. Ma'at, Dr. OYA Ma'at. That was very good. I enjoyed every minute of that. Thank you very much, Empress Aisha Abu. Spada, 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 spada. Oh man, Dr. Vod, make sure y'all hit her up on Cash App. Show some love if y'all enjoyed the show. Make sure y'all go to the website, go to the Ed Anime production, Ed Anime production, because it's about education and animation. So that's what it's all about, Ed Anime production. And hit her up on IG, hit her up on Facebook. Email her if you want to find out more information about the schools and the program. Also, that STEM program that's coming up for young ladies and young people at morgan.edu. That's where she works, /cap and /program. We need more sisters in there and brothers, because they are taking in brothers. And make sure you show her that love, of course, because she's an engineer and she's doing great works. And I just enjoyed her spirit. And make sure you go to her YouTube channel, subscribe to her YouTube channel, Dr. OYA ADWOA Ma'at. Make sure you show that love. And don't forget, we got to let them know, sister. We got to let them know. UNITY, you better let them know. I worked with Dana before too, Queen Latifah. So it is what it is. That's just what it is. you know, and when you have these, and so funny, Empress, I'll be walking the streets of New York, and I'm hearing artists that I've either emceed shows or worked with, especially in the Caribbean community. I'd just be like, wow, man! I said, and it's just and it just triggers my memory of being back on stage, hosting a Buju show, or hosting opening of a show with Shaba, or working with Super Cat, or a deal with different things. So I just had that life, I had a good time, enjoyed my life, and doing what I did. You know what I'm saying? But I'm proud of your journey, because your journey is still continuing. My journey is still continuing, and her journey is still continuing. So y'all got to keep on doing what you do and keep on doing
it. We're going to keep doing what we're doing, all of us.
That's right. Here's your product, girl. Talk about it. Be about it. Come on. Let's do it. Get on out of here. Mm-hmm.
Yes, family. 1 million adornments. 1 million adornments, everyone. That's the name of my platform on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Women, it's a combination of women and million, because looking forward to one sister having at least 1 million sisters to support her dreams, and her her trials and tribulations in life, and just so that we can prosper and move forward, because
right.
And this is, I'm telling you, this is something to build unity amongst us. Our brothers need us. They need us to have our heads straight.
Right.
Our children need us. So. And I realized the best support that I have ever seen is sisters supporting each other.
That's right.
Truly supporting, not hating on each other. So get your earrings, order your earrings, the floral earrings, to blossom, to represent us. So that's what it is.
That's right. That's right. Make sure you hit her up at 1 million _adornments. Email Empress Aisha Amore Gmail, and spread love via Cash App $Empress Amore. It takes money to make these type of great things, but she also have something that she's about to bring to fruition, because she's about to go into this even number cycle after birthday come in, and that's a birthing cycle. So this is going to be very powerful in this birth that she's going to let out. And I can't wait to see what happens. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be a wonderful thing. Also, just want to remind everyone that our dear sister is coming in this coming. That our dear sister is coming in this Sunday. This Sunday, we got a beautiful sister coming in. This is our sister here, Mama Oracle. Is coming in June the 6th at 9 p.m. Alternative and energetic medicine. I had the opportunity to actually be in her space for a whole month at Dr. Africa's place, her and her daughter. So I can't wait to actually speak to her about what she's doing in Montreal, Canada, in Ontario, Canada. So we're going to be having her on. Of course, this whole month is going to be off the hizzle for Shizzle. Of course, we have King Randall. You see him right there in the middle. He's coming in on Wednesday. On Sunday, we have Amin Ra, brother Amin Ra Valentine, Dr. Phil Valentine. Early that morning, we're going to have the person that's running this great event. We Are Our Ancestors' Wildest Dreams. That's coming up also, and that's brought to you by our dear sister here, Empress Aisha Moore and Joycelyn Brown. She's going to be, and if you want to find out more information about that, go to her email, joycelyn0127@gmail.com. But we're going to be having her on at early morning on June the 13th. And then we're going to have our brother Amin Valentine coming in at the end that night at 9 p.m. And I have a surprise for him. So I can't wait to bring on his surprise that's going to come up that night. Also on the 16th, on Tupac Shakur's birthday, we have the one, the only, my brother Zion Lex, who is also a part of the entertainment world, but also is a part of the consciousness of the Hebrew and the Kemetic connection. And then, of course, we have at the end, you see that beautiful sister, Sacred Secret. We will be having her on the 17th, that Thursday, before I head out to Atlanta, Georgia, for the things that they're doing out there. So I'll be part of that. I believe they're moving their altar candy to the 27th. So I may be doing something in Georgia at a place in Stone Mountain. So if you want to be a part of this pop-up numerovational shop, make sure y'all hit me up at King Simon. I am King Simon at Gmail. So more likely on Father's Day weekend, I will be doing something in Stone Mountain. And if I'm not going to do it in Stone Mountain Village, I will be doing it in a private location where I could only accommodate probably 10 people at a certain price. I want to do a numerovation breakdown that for people and how to look at the years coming before my classes come out on the 22nd, because my classes are going to be profound. I want to thank eToy Experience, healing experience, that's going to be helping me out this coming Sunday to put my classes together. And we're going to actually be putting those things on the market on June the 22nd, which is my grandmother's birthday, 104th birthday. So in honor of her, because she's the one that introduced me to so acknowledging birthdays, June the 22nd, we're going to release those 9-part classes. It's like a 9-piece. If you ever went to a chicken spot and got a 9-piece, we're going to get you a 9-piece of numerovation, holistic numerovation. I know, right? 9-piece. Here's one of our sponsors, our dear, beautiful sister. We had them on recently. Of course, Better Health Shop. They got people really popping in to get that burdock root, that monatomic silver, and that colloidal silver and monatomic gold. Make sure you go to their website, betterhealthshop.etsy.com. Give them a call or text them at 1-800-820-7822. That's 1-800-820-7822. And of course, family, make sure you support my books. Go to my Linktree. You can go to Linktree right now for my books. That is Linktree/King Simon the Numerovator. That's King Simon the Numerovator at Linktree. You can get all 4 of my books, and I got 6 more that I'm writing, so it's going to be off the hizzle for shizzle, like my man Snoop used to say. And of course, just want to remind people, check out my son's music. Don't abuse it, because he's giving you those love music that's generating the soul and the mind and the body. And he comes from a conscious culture, so I know he dropping the wisdom of real, true love. Matter of fact, he has a whole Spanish album coming out. You know, one of those love languages, and then he's going to go into French and all these type of African. He's going to do it all. He's a number 23, so that's what they do. Multi-dimensional artists. That's what they about, man. Believe that. So make sure you support my son, Prince Imagine. And of course, don't forget, if you want to get any real estate done and get consulted on how to buy real estate throughout the tri-state area or in your prospective territory, contact Miss Janelle Lewis, one of my family members. Janelle Lewis, give her a contact at 347-866-1153. That's 347-866-1153. Also, my beloved brother and one of my teachers, Lloyd Strayhorn, world-renowned astronumerologist, the best of both world astrology and numerology. go sign up for his class, the beginner's class and the intermediate class. And I also believe he's going to be doing a palmistry class, how to read your palm and recognize that the left hand represents your mama's side, your father's side, your mama, your daddy, your family side, and the right hand represents you and what you're doing in your life. So everything, your life is in your own hands. So when you really put your hands up, that's why you can read a person's hands, and everybody got their own fingerprint, their own individual fingerprint. There is a reason behind that, and Lloyd might be teaching a class on Udemy soon on that. So big up to Lloyd. And don't forget, my classes are coming up. We just spoke about it, holistic numerovation. We're going to talk about the BAT method, beyond, around, tracking, or the trajectory of the numbers, and learning to hear and listen to the numbers, why numbers caught out to you, why you see doubling of numbers, tripling numbers. We're going to go into all of those things, those angles of life. And make sure you hit me up on that email, the numerovata@gmail. If I'm not responding, it's all right. I'm just preparing, because when I do send out that email, it's going to direct you to the link to pay for the class, and then boom, you'll get the classes in your email. And that's how it's going to happen. Period. You know, they won't be live. I will be pre-taping. The only live it will be a private live one for Q&A when it's time. That'll be the 10th and official class that will be live on a private link, probably on YouTube. Also, I spoke to my dear friend here that owns this particular brand, pedalwise.com. Big up to pedalwise.com and the whole family down there in South Florida. 10% off with the 10% off coupon code. Make sure you get that womb suite, get those fibroids out of your system, clean that vaginal area, get those antiviral liquids that they have to help fight you against virus and all that. They got some great products, but you can actually use my 10% code. It's King2021. That's King2021. Go and get it right now. If you're suffering from fibroids, you've been helping a lot of people get pregnant. A lot of people reduce their fibroids, reverse the effects of the fibroids. She's been very helpful. Big up to our sister doing her great work. And we've had her on our show. I'm going to bring her back soon. And if you want to do a numerovation session with me, please text me your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. But please, if you live outside of the United States, please text me via WhatsApp. So that means if you live in Africa, if you live in England, if you live in Germany, if you live in the Caribbean, if you live in Canada, text me via WhatsApp. And then I will proceed to deal with it. And also you can pay via PayPal if you want. You can pay via PayPal or Cashapp, as you see here. And last but not least of what we're saying here, let me get rid of that. Let me move that out the way. I think I'm slowing down here. Something is going on with my, let me see, make sure. Let me check my thing here. Okay, let's remove that out the way. And boom. I think I'm slowing down here. Okay, I think I'm back on point here. Last but not least, content disclaimer. Content disclaimer. Content disclaimer. Content disclaimer. The views, comments, and opinions expressed by guests, speakers, or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Always got to cover your backside, family. Always. I'm telling all broadcasters out there, cover your backside with good content disclaimer, especially if you know you're going to bring on people that are controversial. And if they're not even controversial, just respect your platform, because it is a platform that we have to learn to love and honor if you want to keep this thing going. That's why I filmed Phil Valentine's event privately and then directed you there, because we know they're shutting down certain people and they can't fight me against a private thing. I could just direct you there, and if you choose to go, that's your business. If you don't choose to go, that's your business, period. But if you are interested in seeing Phil Valentine and what he said on my platform before he did his webinar, please go to my community section right here on YouTube at King Simon Present and scroll down to where it says Phil Valentine link, and you'll see the link and you'll be able to access it. It's still open, still a private link, but you can still open it if you press that link. All due respect to Baba Phil. I heard his webinar was like 10 hours long, and it was extraordinary information that he dropped. So I'm glad. Thank you, Baba. I'm going to be bringing you back on in another couple months also. And his son is coming on this month also. But let's honor Dr. Blair before we start the prayers.
Yeah.
Dear Dr. Blair, I love you, Doctor, in the ancestral realm. Make sure y'all go to his website and support Dr. Blair, the Meta Center 2. Get his books. Let me show you one of his books I have here. Just one of them. I know I got all three of them, all four of them, but this one is called Man, Woman, and Child by Dr. Delbert Blair. This is a lot of transcribed work that they produce. Man, Woman, of Child. He breaks down a great science and metaphysics of the man, woman, and child together and why we must be together. Because remember, he lost his wife due to poisoning. When they try to kill him, they end up killing his wife through poisoning, and then I think he lost one of his children. So Man, Woman, and Child is a very good book to have in your arsenal. Big up to Brother Tony and the whole crew. So go to the website, themetacenter2.com, themetacenter2.com. You ready for the prayer, my sister?
Yes, yes.
Prayer time, like we used to say in the temple.
Yes, prayer time.
Prayer time. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. I love that Adhan. Believe me, I love the Adhan. It's powerful. All right, sister, go ahead. Let's do it.
All right. Give thanks, family. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Please, Universal Creator, know in my heart that I love you. Please protect me and this planet on which I live now. Please open my mind, my spirit, and my soul to receive only truth in your love now.
Say it for the people in the back, sister. Please.
People in the back. Right, family? Let's do this collectively. We got this. Please, Universal Creator, know in our hearts that we love you. Please protect us and this planet on which we live now. Please open our minds, our spirits, and our souls to receive truth, only truth, in your love now.
Woo! Aseo to our ancestors for giving us that prayer.
Yes.
Our great brother, Dr. Blair, for giving us that prayer, man. Thank you very much, Empress.
Thank you. Thank you for bringing on Dr. Oya, my aunt. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone, everyone who showed us love. Thank you, everyone who is here with us. Sister Sajda, Brother Akata, Black Ace, everyone, all of you.
That's right. Have a great evening, beautiful, and we'll talk. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Be safe. All right.
All right.
Peace. That's our sister, the one, the only Empress Aisha Amor. Oh yeah. Let's get it out here with the music, baby. Oh man. All right, family. Want to thank each and every one of you. Just want to remind you, of course, this coming Sunday, we're going to have a good time with Mama Oracle around 9 o'clock, straight out of Montreal, Canada. And don't forget, we got a lot coming up. As you can see on this flyer, we got a lot of people coming up. So don't touch it. Don't touch the dial. Please share, like, and tell everybody to subscribe and click on the bell to be notified if they want to see what's going on in the very humble and respectful King Simon KSB TV right here, where we try to bring you positive content. No troll zone, baby. We ain't got no time for the trolls, so please, trolls, take a stroll the hell out of here. That's what we're dealing with. We don't need the strolls in our building, all right? And in the immortal words of Marcus Mosiah Garvey, family, up, you mighty nation, you could accomplish what you will. And of course, in the words of my brother, Dr. Khalid Muhammad, please, regardless of land, label, or language, there is but one God. And stay positive, stay focused, stay out of trouble, family. I love you. Be yourself, be great, and be safe while you're out there. Peace.
Rockers Movement presents the 2021 Miami Reggae Festival, healing the community with sound system culture. Saturday, August 7th and Sunday, August 8th, with music by Stone Love Movement, Bass Odyssey, King Addies International, Soul Supreme, Warrior Sound International, Downbeat the Ruler from New York City, King Waggy T, and many more. Hosted by Mutabaruka. Saturday, August 7th and Sunday, August 8th at the brand new RER Marketplace next to the Opalaka Flea Market. For more info, visit MiamiReggaeFestival.com. Celebrate Jamaica's independence and sound system culture.